What up YouTube? It is Ben again for another update on the Airstream renovation. This week was a pretty exciting week. We started installing some stuff on the roof, replacing some old vents. The plan is to replace all three of the current vents. The middle one will be a skylight, and then the back one will be the air conditioner, which we're hopefully going to get in later this week or next week. And this week we actually installed the front one, which is a Fan-Tastic Fan 1250. I'll link to it in the description below, so make sure to check out that model. It's pretty awesome, super easy to install. It was actually harder to get the old one out and to drill out all the rivets than to actually install the new one. Of course, we don't have the interior skins in yet, so we haven't installed the actual the cap piece inside, but everything is ready to wire up. This one is actually a manual. They have some that have like a sensor for heat and cold, but I read some interesting reviews on those that sometimes they don't work all the time. So I went for the simple. I could swap it out later if I really wanted to with a more advanced one, but this is a quick video on how to install the Fan-Tastic Fan and take out the old one. So here we go. All right, so to take off the old one, there's some bolts right here on each side, and you can just take those out with a socket wrench, and then it just pops right out. Obviously my skins are out of this Airstream, so but if the skins were in, you'd have to take these rivets out, and then now I'm gonna have to go up on the roof and take these rivets out, all of them. So let's hop up there and get that taken care of. So now we're on the roof. Here's the top of that we just unbolted. Toss that down, and now we have all of these rivets exposed. There are a ton of rivets. I was very surprised to see how many, but some people say, you know, you can just drill through these, but I do have a hole puncher. In my experience, they're so much easier if you just do a little hole punch on each one of them, and then I'll show you drilling on one too. So the hole puncher just kind of keeps the drill bit in place while you drill through. So there's one, and then I'll just go around and get all these guys, and then we'll be ready to start cutting out the template for the other size fan. Hey guys, hope you're enjoying this video so far. We'll get right back to it, but I just wanted to take a moment to thank you for watching this video and other ones that I've made the last couple months. I've really enjoyed the process, and I hope you guys have too. I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel and smash that like button so YouTube continues to like my videos as well. So I can continue producing these and hopefully helping others in the same situation, renovating an Airstream or other trailer, or just tips and tricks on how to do things in general. But thanks for tuning in, and let's get back to installing the fan. So I got all the rivets out. Used a 3/16 inch drill bit and the hole puncher that I showed. And now I'm trying to maneuver this thing out. I might go inside and try to kind of push it up, because you don't really want to like push down on the roof here. And then you can see the old tape that they used. It's like a tar paper, almost like a roofing tar. But I'll have to clean that off with like a putty knife and sander or something like that. So I cleaned it off as best I could. use some Goo Gone, and then this black tar stuff is pretty horrendous. I ended up using my angle grinder with a flexible sanding pad, and it worked really well. I thought I would be able to scrape it off and use just Goo Gone to get it off, but there's no way. So now here's the template on top here. Basically it's the same size opening, you can see here, and like the here in the corners and stuff, but the edges are a different shape. So instead of, you know, a super oval kind of edge, rounded edge, it's a little less rounded. There's not too much to contend with here. There are some rivets here that will be in the way a little bit, so I might have to use a little extra tape there. But overall, basically I'm just gonna trace, you know, this outline, and then I'll use some tin snips to cut out the right hole, and then we'll test it out and see if it fits. So I got it in. I ended up using a Sawzall instead of the tin snips, and you want to cut a little bit extra than what the template makes it seem like you need to cut. It's a pretty snug fit, which is good, but definitely kind of had to trim away more and more and more and more until I got to the right amount off of there. So now I'm going to grab a Sharpie and mark all these holes, and then pre-drill some holes. They are self-tapping screws, but I'd rather not strip the aluminum by working on it too hard with the drill. You could do it, but it might be worth, you know, just drilling some pilot holes first. So now that I got the holes pre-drilled, I'm going to use this butyl tape and basically go along where I drilled the holes. You can see, like, these are the old holes from the other vent, but basically I'll trace this one, and then I might do an inner layer as well, depending on how much room there is, because I have two different size butyl tape, and this one is a little bit too small, and the other one is a little bit too big. So I might do 2 layers, and we'll see. We got it all screwed in place. You can see the butyl tape is starting to squirt out. That is expected and what you want. I'm gonna wait for maybe a day. In the front, so the hitch is this way, so you're pulling, you know, you're driving that way so the wind doesn't rip the lid off. But other than that, it was a pretty simple install, but let's go check it out inside, and then we'll get on to something else. Here is the Fan-Tastic Fan installed. It is the model 1250, which is manual open. So you have to twist this to actually open the vent. And then there's 3 different speeds for the fan itself, as well as you can go suck air in or push air out. So that's the interior. Obviously I'm not gonna install the trim that would go in here quite yet, because I'm going to have to install some walls inside and I don't know the final depth yet, so that'll have to come at a later video. Thanks for tuning in this week. Next week we'll have a lot more content in terms of just information on the actual structural integrity. I'm gonna go get a welder this week to start learning how to weld, so I might show some of that in progress of learning how to weld video. But in general, we'll just keep on moving forward, and we're excited to see what's next.